Hey guys, thanks for joining me for this 75th episode in Season 2 of Good Questions with Cameron Dole. Special guests for this episode include Amy Over, the Columbine survivor, talks about her podcast Season 2 of Confronting Columbine. We'll also talk with WWE Champ Drew McIntyre about his book A Chosen Destiny, which is available now. We'll also visit with 80s sensation Tiffany, got a new single Hey Baby, some new vinyl, upcoming tour, and more to talk about. And we'll also visit with country group Texas Hill, comprised of Craig Wayne Boyd, Adam Wakefield, and Casey James. We'll be talking about their new single, upcoming dates, videos, and more. Of course, if you would, please take time to subscribe, comment, leave some feedback, check out the merch shop, and share with your friends. Now, have you ever had a job interview where they threw one of those brain teaser questions at you just to see how you think on your feet? Well, I guess this would be an extreme example of that. A woman named Bisha Golshani in Los Angeles just tweeted out a picture of a question she got on an online job interview. She wrote, quote, "This is definitely the most bizarre question I've ever seen on a job application." The question is, quote, "You've been given an elephant. You can't give it away or sell it. What would you do with the elephant?" Now, I don't know what the job was or how Beta answered, but her tweet is going viral now and people are throwing in their own ideas. Now, one person said they once took a course on how to respond to interview questions, and there's actually a correct answer. Open a business where you hire the elephant out for events. But I personally like some of the other people's ideas more. Like one that said, "Unfortunately, I can no longer work here. Raising this elephant is my full-time job. We're going to travel from town to town solving mysteries." Or another favorite of mine, "Give me the job or my elephant will sit on your car." We love talking podcasts, we love talking life, we love talking what we can learn from life as well. And a great podcast to talk about Season 2 of Confronting Columbine. And we've got Amy Over with us today. And first off, Amy, I appreciate you taking some time to be on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Now, the podcast world has just absolutely blown up. I mean, it seems like everybody's got a podcast and there's something to cover any subject. And how did you first get involved in the Confronting podcast? And what were the big challenges to start speaking your mind, if you will?
Yeah, they asked me about over a year ago to be a part of the podcast, and I didn't say yes at first. I was pretty nervous about having a platform like this, but something in my gut and in my heart told me that this will help a lot of people.
And for you, when you go back to that day, back in 1999, a high school senior, I mean, now that you have time to look back at it, I mean, what has that day meant to you in the long term of your life and in many of the decisions that you've had to make?
1999 Columbine, April 20th was a day that forever changed my world and my trajectory of the kind of person I am, and it changed everything. When you are about to lose your life or your life is in danger, it definitely makes you think of how you want to live your life and the things that you want to do in life. So I've turned it into a positive. It's been a long journey. It's been a long 22 years of self-reflecting and ups and downs, and I'm still fighting and running my marathon.
22 years, and this is one of those things that I'm sure you've been asked millions and millions of times, questions about the day. Did that make it part of the reason why it was so hard to say yes on the podcast in the first place?
No, I just want to do right by the Columbine community, and so I didn't want to put myself out there, and do something wrong. I was just nervous about, talking to lead investigators, talking to, talking about our perpetrators. Those are heavy, hard topics to talk about. And I just wanted to do right by Columbine. I want people to know what a great community it is and still is. And, we're a very resilient community and very strong. So, it's just been a crazy ride doing this podcast.
Now, what is maybe the big aha moment that you've had on maybe in the research or in the interviews of the podcast so far?
That's a good question. I definitely find out if I'm on the hit list in one of the episodes from the lead investigator, Kate Batten. That is insane to actually physically see. I physically saw the hit list. And so that was kind of something in my healing that I needed to hear. So, it's just Dave Cullen taught me so much with his book. He debunks a lot of the myths that of Columbine. So it's really important that people. It's really important that people understand that. It wasn't just a trench coat mafia. It wasn't just bullying. And, it was kind of like an aha moment that, okay, this didn't cause Columbine. These were two kids that wanted to kill for fun. And that's what Mary Ellen O'Toole says in one of the last episodes, that this was the first time when she saw the basement tapes that they were never released to the public, thank God. But when she saw the basement tapes, she was like, these guys wanted to kill for fun. And that's so disturbing on so many levels.
And all of the disturbing news that we've seen in the world over the last 12 months, for you to be able to maybe put a little bit of a light on such a dark situation, I mean, I'm sure that's got to be one of the highest points for you right now.
Definitely. In this podcast, I mean, there is a lot of trauma in it, and it's very hard to hear some of the episodes, but there's so much laughter and love and community and resiliency. I mean, this podcast has it all. It'll have you, it's literally a roller coaster of emotions. You'll be laughing one minute and crying the next, and giggling, and but then, it's very heartfelt, and I'm very proud of the work that we did on this podcast.
And again, Confronting Columbine is the podcast. And Amy, I want to make sure and let folks know where they can find more information, not only about the podcast, but everything you've got going social media wise as well.
Yeah. So you can download our podcast on all platforms: Apple, Spotify, Wondery, Google. And then you can, hit me up on, Facebook. Just look up Amy Over. You can look us up at Confronting. Actually, I don't have that email right now. That's something I need to put down. But yeah, I mean, you can. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and yeah, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
All right. Well, Amy, it's been great to visit with you. I appreciate you taking some time out of your crazy schedule. Continued success with the podcast, and hopefully we'll catch up again.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Take care.
Well, if you're still shopping for Mother's Day, time is running out. But this might help if you need something last minute. Someone polled over 2,000 moms and asked them what they'd actually enjoy getting as a gift. And here are the top 10. Number 1, a card. 43% of moms said they'd love to get one. Now, that doesn't mean that they'd be thrilled with just a card, but in general, moms do like getting them. Number 2, flowers. Number 3, doing something with the family, like dinner or going somewhere outdoors. Number 4, a keepsake. So something sentimental, like a framed photo that's engraved. Number 5, chocolate. Number 6, something homemade. Now this is especially for moms with younger kids. Number 7, a spa day or massage. Number 8, jewelry. Number 9, a day to themselves. So you say Happy Mother's Day, then just leave them alone for 24 hours. And number 10, for someone else to take care of all the household tasks that they normally do. Also, 1 in 7 moms said breakfast in bed would be great. 12% said they want clothes. And 1 in 8 said some booze would be greatly appreciated. We've got WWE superstar Drew McIntyre on with us. And first off, Drew, I appreciate you taking some time to be on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
Now, Drew, tell us, when did you decide that author was going to be a slash that would go before or after your name. When did that inspiration come for you?
I didn't make the personal decision. I didn't sit there and go, you know what the world needs right now is a wrestler from Scotland in WWE's book right now. That's what the world really needs. It was more a company approached WWE, who approached myself directly and asked, would you be willing to put a book out? And I said, why would I do that? Like, I'm still wrestling right now. I'm still pretty young. They're like, no, Drew, it's not just your wrestling story, which is pretty incredible with all the ups and downs you've been through. It's more your personal story and how open you are with your personal story. We've been watching you do all these interviews with the media, you tell it on the television show Monday Night Raw. And we really think if you were willing to put your story out there the way you do already, it could help a lot of people and inspire them during some difficult times. And when it was presented to me, it was right at the start of the pandemic. We didn't know how long it was going to go, but my wife and I spoke about it. And we recognized the situation that people were going through. And I told her, I was like, listen, if we put up my story and it helps just one person get through a difficult time and know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how dark times get, then it's absolutely worth it. And we started working on the book, and I got to go through my history and understand that it's been a crazy 20-year run. I'm 35 right now. I've been wrestling since I was 15. I mean, it's been a crazy 35-year run. I go through my whole life, but wrestling 20-year run especially. And just to see not just the career aspects, which is cool, but more the personal growth and the amount of times I've fallen down over my life and the people around me who lifted me back up and kept pushing me forward to be the best version of myself was pretty cool to go through again. And I definitely sent a lot of texts to a lot of people after I went through my entire life again to thank them for being part of the journey and help me become not just the superstar I am today, WWE champion I am today, more importantly, the man I am today.
And as you go recounting those stories, the ups and the downs, I mean, how much more does that make you appreciate where you're at today in the industry as opposed to when you first came in?
Yeah, I'm just all appreciation right now. If you ask young Drew, about if he's going to be in WWE and WWE champion from age 6 to age 24, when I've been in WWE for 3 years, I'd say you're damn right. I was a bit more cocky when I was younger, and I was appreciative, but I did not understand the gravity of the opportunities I was presented when I was younger. And I certainly wasn't mentally ready for a lot of professional responsibilities, but more importantly, I just wasn't growing up enough for a lot of stuff going on in my life. I was struggling enough to deal with just being an adult, like coming straight from university, living with my parents, to being part of WWE and Big Bad America, trying to grow up. That was hard enough. But then to go through some of the issues I went through, as I detail in the book, like my mother getting sick with cancer, being so far away, being so close to her, it really set me in a tailspin. And when she passed, I was just off the rails, out of control. And it took, she was the strongest woman in my life that inspired me to chase my dreams and never give up. But then it took another strong woman in my wife to really pick me back up at my lowest and put me back on the path that I got on and where I'm on right now. It's all because of her. So yeah, it's almost like a work of fiction at times when you look at it with such strong female leads. It's almost like the Wizard of Oz or something, where like Kansas is air and Oz is WWE, and I'm going down the yellow brick road to meet the wizard that's Vince McMahon, and I've got my friends on the way, like I detail in the book, like WWE superstar Sheamus, he's still trying to find his brain to this day. So it's an interesting read.
Now, what is maybe the biggest misconception that fans have about the WWE and about the road to success in the WWE as well?
I think there's a lot of misconceptions. That's why I'm so open in the book about the wrestling industry, WWE specifically, and I'm not afraid to talk about everything and just lay it out that it isn't easy. I usually break it down to this. Like, I'm from Scotland. It's a country of 5 million people, and making it to WWE was so unlikely. But if you're from America, making it in WWE is so unlikely. Like my mom used to say to me, my dad used to say to me, Drew, there are thousands of soccer clubs in the world. You're pretty good at like football, soccer. Like if you keep pursuing that, why does it have to be this one company that exists? There's only one company, there's limited roster spots. You want to be WWE champion, there's only one of those. What makes you think you're going to do it? And it's the same over here. Like there's a lot of baseball teams, football teams, basketball teams, ice hockey teams. And there's one WWE still, even to this day, like at that top level. There's only one WWE. And the idea of making it there is crazy enough. But to become WWE champion, which a lot of people go, oh, well, it's not like you're going in there and fighting for real, getting the title. It's like, no, it's way easier if it was that way. Like there's a lot of things that have got to come into play for you to become WWE champion. The fans have to believe in you. It has to make sense business-wise, and the top brass in the company have to say, this is the right person for the job. This is the person who can represent our company in the right way, get the job done in the ring, out of the ring. The fans are behind them. Everything points at this person. They're going to be the one who leads this one company in the world forward. And when I get the chance to break it all down and explain it that way, which I do throughout the book, that's really cool for me, because I'm not going to start going like, oh, Drew, it's fake. So no, it's not. It's totally real, man. I was like, listen, if you figure out the fake gravity, you tell this guy first. But yeah, I'm very, very open in the book about the industry. It's written for fans and new fans, and about my life in general, obviously.
Now, this last year, what is the big thing that you've kind of looked at internally as we've had some time to ourselves? Is there something that you've been kind of focusing on, working on your craft in your alone time as well?
I mean, like work-wise, I never stop working. And I've been lucky enough to be like WWE's, I call myself the global brand ambassador. I've been doing non-stop interviews all year. It's been fun. Like, this is not a job for me. I'm literally living my dream, but it's more the outside the ring stuff I get to do that mean the most to me right now, and helping people. And I've had the opportunity to do so many virtual visits over the year. Met with the Children's Hospital in September during Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. That was so cool. And we do our tribute to the troops show every year for the troops and their families to show our appreciation, usually in person. We couldn't do it this year, so we brought the troops into our Thunderdome virtually. Had the chance to do meet and greets one-on-one with them, myself and Lacey Evans, WWE superstar, as a former Marine. And we got to talk to them and understand that they're struggling a lot mentally right now, and how much our show meant to them. And like, we just want to show our appreciation to them and to hear their stories. I was like, wow, this is a really big, I knew it was a big thing and a cool thing we were doing, but this means even more right now, hearing their stories, that we can just bring them a little happiness and show them how much they're appreciated. And on top of that, just things like writing my book and getting to tell my stories and getting the feedback that, Drew, this particular time you went through really spoke to me, because I'm struggling right now and I was able to get through it. Hearing you went through it too, and you achieved your dreams in the end. And outside of all the work-related stuff and outside the ring-related stuff, I've also had the chance to be with my wife for the first time ever, because I've lived on the road our entire relationship. And I know a lot of couples in this didn't necessarily make it during this time, which is unfortunate, but we actually grew stronger spending all that time together. And I learned more about myself and how to be present a lot more, because in this line of work, you can kind of be go all the time mentally. And I've learned to slow down, appreciate my time on the sofa with her and my two cats. And that's become my favorite time now, and keeps me balanced, because I'm so crazy with the wrestling brain. So she keeps me balanced as the big details.
That's good. And again, the book, A Chosen Destiny, My Story. Drew, I want to make sure and not only let our listeners know about where they can find info about the book, but everything you've got going social media-wise as well. I
never remember the social media. I believe it is D McIntyre WWE on Twitter and Instagram. So if I'm wrong, it's the one with a tick. It's the obvious one. Don't believe the other ones. The amount of messages I get saying like, hey, you sent me a message recently where you were telling me your address and where to meet up and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, please. If it doesn't have the tick, it's not true.
That's awesome. Well, Drew, it's been a privilege to have the chance to visit with you this morning. I wish you continued success, and hopefully we can catch up again real soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today, buddy. Thank you for the chat. And we will do this again very soon. And then very, very soon in person.
There you go.
Thank you, bud.
Now, there is a good chance that you've heard one of these lines from a boss before, but coworkers are even guilty of saying them to each other sometimes. And here are 5 things that people say at work without realizing they're being condescending. Number 1, you can do better than that. Now, it sounds like the type of thing a parent says to their kid, and it invalidates their effort. A better way to say it? This looks great, but I think we can do even better. Number 2, I actually like that idea. Now, it's a backhanded compliment that makes it sound like they don't have good ideas in general, so it's better to just say, that's a great idea. Number 3, starting a sentence with everyone knows this already. Because if someone doesn't know, it can make them feel dumb or inferior. So it's better to start those kind of sentences with you might already know this. Number 4, good luck with that. It can sound like you're expecting them to fail, so when you see someone tackling a difficult task, it's better to say something like, that sounds tough. Feel free to let me know if you need some help. And number 5, you're missing my point. It implies it's 100% their fault. But it could be your fault too if you didn't explain it well. so it might just be better to say, let me rephrase that so it's clearer. Taking you back to the 80s and 90s, got some new stuff to talk about. 2021, exciting year, and Tiffany on the line with us. And first off, Tiffany, thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. How are you?
I am well, and I'm excited, and I know you've got a lot of exciting news to share, lots of projects going on, and Tiffany, in the midst of 2021, to see 2021 and the bright spots you got ahead, I mean, how excited are you for the year?
Oh, well, I'm very excited. Got a new tour out called Shadows Tour, new album, Shadows. So go to tiffanytunes.com, everybody. Check it out there. New single out called Hey Baby. So, yeah, I mean, we're a year late, but we're really right on time because now everything's moving forward and people are ready to kind of start going out and resuming the summer and having, our normality back a little bit and just, getting on with it a little bit as far as moving on with life. It's been so hard on everybody. It's been terrible. I mean, this has just been, a wild ride. So, I think now everybody just kind of wants to safely go at their own way, their own pace and get out there and start to kind of, again, live again. So, I'm so excited to be a part of it. So excited to be doing new music and be rocking out, the retro stuff as well. Celebration of, 30 years of, I think we're alone now, which is exciting. And, we just re-released it. We just remastered it, and it's out now on vinyl, actually, with Hey Baby, the new single. So check it out, tiffanytunes.com. That's the place to go. So, and that has all my tour dates because we're going to start June 5th, and we go out to Greenville, Texas, and then that's it. We're out until November here and there for the most part. So it's a packed tour. Yeah, I've been very lucky. Everything's been holding at bay, but for a year. So I knew once it was go, it was going to be like, okay, go. So I try to be as prepared as possible. But, I'm right now just booking all the stuff with my agents and my assistant, and we're working on this on a daily factor. And then we go into rehearsals in California, and then we go on the road.
Now, Tiffany, how much different does the prep look for a tour than anything you've seen before right now?
Well, I mean, you mean the difference between then and now, or just, I mean, there's so much difference in touring now, I think, compared to before. I mean, I've always been kind of more of an indie tour. I did the big tour with Mixtape, and I've done my own big tours. But I like all the real organic indie kind of little festivals and off the side of the road places, acoustic shows. I love full band, and that's what Shadows is. But we're also going to be entwining a bunch of different meet and greet packages, a bunch of different like acoustic on the side concerts. So lots of different things on this. We're just going to do music. Like, go for it.
And Tiffany, how exciting is it to just be able to just focus on some music for a while? And also, how therapeutic has music been for you this last year?
Well, I mean, music for me has been, again, just I've been like really waiting to release some new stuff. And then for me, I'm a songwriter. The last year or so, I've just been kind of bursting at the seams. So lots of stuff in between for maybe myself or other artists, don't know where it'll land. But, a lot of creativity, I think, going on with all of us out there. Let's Food with Tiffany. I started my own company for a food club. And I have my Instagram, Let's Food with Tiffany Instagram. So, I've been just doing stuff that I really love to do, all this different creative. And I think everybody found different passions or different interests because, we were forced to take some time off. So I think we had to dig deep.
Now, Tiffany, obviously social media out there now, something we didn't have to deal with as we were youngsters. Tiffany, how hard is it to keep up with social media these days?
Oh, it is. I mean, it's hard because, like I said, I have Let's Food with Tiffany on Instagram, and I have Tiffany Tunes, my website. I'm very active in that. I've got Radical Red's Beauty now going on because I'm doing my own line of lipsticks. Why not? It makes sense. I have all these wonderful women following me and Mixtape Tour, and they're my girls. So I've always had boutiques, and I have an online boutique, but also I decided to get into more beauty products and all kinds of different wonderful things. So partnered up with Ian Ziering, and we're just rocking some Radical Red lipsticks and some Radical Red Beauty and Power Lips and all that jazz. So lots of things behind the scenes. So yes, my full day is between me and my team is like getting the word out. You know, even the shows, like, you know, you gotta let people know you're touring. So, and there's so much going on in social media. It's like to keep up the pace. So I try to have, like, I turn it off, by like 7 o'clock to have a normality in my own life and some sanity. But, you know, I mean, it's a lot right now. We're getting ready for a tour, and there's nothing to really complain about, which I'm grateful because, again, you know, we've been all like with such a wild ride, you know, things changed a little bit. So I'm so thankful just to do music. I've always been happy to be doing what I love to do and grateful. But I think even more now because it makes people feel even more connected right now, you know, and it's nice to see it all kind of come together again and how precious it really is. And so, yeah, I'm very proud of this tour, the Shadows tour. And then Shadows, the album, is new music for me I don't think anybody's heard before. You know, it's a little wink back to the 80s, a little Go-Go's, a little Ramones, a little Tiffany, you know. But, you know, it's got a very modern production to it, you know, that is definitely today's music and on par. So, you know, I'm excited that LA Guns, part of LA Guns, a few members are going to be on the road with me, stepping as players with me. So this is exciting. You know, just a lot of really cool celebration of music. So yeah, we're just going to be playing everywhere we go.
Now, Tiffany, what's the thing you miss most about being up on that stage in those live performances?
Well, I mean, you know, Let's Food with Tiffany has been really great because I've been doing a lot of cooking and hosting in different places. So lots of outdoor events where we always do one song, which is, I think, we're alone now, of course. So it's been great to be, you know, organic again, just one-on-one, you know, smaller crowds out in the field somewhere, you know, with the mask or whatever, but you can see that twinkle in the eye. I think the connection's even stronger a little bit. So it's, you know, some venues are going to be using plexiglass to kind of wall off the stage, however we can get it done. But, you know, a lot of people are opening up again and to have full band, you know, and just to see people coming out. Yeah, I mean, I've missed it for sure, but I've kept engaged, which is live streaming is not the same, I have to say. So it really is awesome to be back on the stage with live breathing people out there. The energy in the room is, you know, a whole different thing.
That's right. Well, Tiffany, if folks want more information about the tour, about the album, the singles, the vinyl, all of that, I know you mentioned it before. Wanted to give you another chance to let our listeners know.
Well, yes, everybody go to tiffanytunes.com. That's where you find all things Tiff World. Come cook with me. Come hang out with me. Check out all things. And we're definitely be touring. I've got the new vinyl out. And, you know, definitely Hey Baby is something, the new single that I think everybody will have a lot of fun with. So I love you guys. And thank you for checking it out. tiffanytunes.com.
All right. Well, Tiffany, it is always great to visit with you. I appreciate you taking some time out of your crazy busy schedule, and hopefully we'll catch up as you hit the road, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Well, a Chinese translator who works for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is denying that she had anything to do with breaking them up. Her name is Shelley Wang, and she's worked for the foundation since 2015. Now, there have been rumors that she had more than a professional relationship with either Bill or Melinda. On Chinese social media, she said, quote, "I thought that the rumors would go away by themselves, but I did not expect the rumors to become more and more crazily spread. I would like to thank everyone for their concern and help in dispelling the rumors through private messages in the past 24 hours. Another interesting twist that's come up since they announced their split is that Bill had an arrangement with Melinda that allowed him to vacation every year at a beach cottage in North Carolina with a woman he was dating before he met her. But this is not something they ever hid from the public, and there's no evidence there's anything but friends. And the other woman is married to the brother of actor Kevin Kline." Our final guests on the podcast today, Adam Wakefield, Craig Wayne Boyd, and Casey James, all together. Put them together in order. Still, yeah. Adam likes that order too. And Adam, Craig, and Casey, first off, thank you guys for coming on the show.
No problem.
Man, thank you so much for having us. Yeah.
Now, Craig, actually, Casey, since you came in last, I'm gonna ask you first. How did the three of you guys come together, and was it like a jam session gone good? I guess.
You know what? It kind of happened pretty organically, really. Ran into Craig at a couple of random events in town, and I think it actually started by me saying something. He had a good looking pair of boots on, and I said, "Man, those are good looking pair of boots." And we got to talking, and you know, he's from Texas and I'm from Texas, so we immediately kind of made friends, and then our families are strangely tied together. We have kids that are the same age. Our wives know each other from growing up together in California. So it was all these weird things. So we had a couple of dinners, and then he approached me with the idea of like, "Hey man, I've been wanting to do like a band thing. Would that be something you're interested in?" And I said, "Absolutely." And that's when he mentioned that he had a ringer for the third person, which I'm sure he was telling Adam the same thing at the same time.
Oh, I was.
Yeah. And you know, the rest is history.
You must have heard my last interview, because I've kind of spilt the beans on that.
Oh, really? Well,
I did. I finally told him. I was telling both of them that the other was in, and I had no clue if they were.
Well, I'm not surprised at all, actually.
Now you know me well enough. You know that's exactly what I was doing.
Absolutely.
Now, guys, being known and obviously on The Voice and American Idol, reality stars, being known as solo artists, I guess, how hard is it to kind of change the mindset there to go to a group setting, if you will?
Adam, you can take that one.
Adam's got this one.
All right. Well, I never personally ever changed from being a solo artist in my mind, just because of my greatness. But if I have to dial it back, you know, I will. But I don't know. I don't think for any of us it's really all that tough. It'd be one thing if we were all just kind of like, you know, like lounge singers or something before we did the show. But we've all been in bands and been playing music with our buddies. I mean, that's how we all got started, was, you know, hanging out in high school and being like, sports are stupid, let's play music instead, and, you know, hanging out with our buddies and playing. So I don't think it, you know, just because you go on a TV show, I don't think that necessarily changes all that much. So you get done, you get off the show, and you get a bunch of people, everybody telling you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. You get the solo career, and now you're kind of the boss man, which, you know, stinks in a lot of regards, because you just kind of lose a little bit of that camaraderie that you get from having just a band. So, you know, it's not like it really changes you as a person. I think we just everybody got fed up with that mindset. And I think everybody was ready to just be like, man, I just want to be in a band with some dudes again and get together in a garage and sing through some crappy Radio Shack mics again. You know, like that's, I remember do that. That was fun, you know? So I think that was kind of the mindset we all went into it with.
I'm glad I had good mics.
Yeah.
One thing that I love the most in the situation is it just like, to further what Adam was saying is, you know, coming off of the show. So leading up to the show, I did Idol 10 years ago. Up to that point, I was doing, you know, a lot of things where you're interacting with other musicians on a daily basis in such a way that you're learning from them. You're becoming a better person. You're becoming a better musician, you know, and then you go through the show, and just like he said, it's kind of like everybody pushes you to be the boss man. And, you know, there's positives and negatives of that. But the thing that I think I've enjoyed the most with being in a band with really talented dudes is honestly getting better, learning, and not just that, but when there's three different personalities, you've got to give and learn on a personal level, like, you know, as well, in a big way, where, you know, normally, you know, you don't really have to compromise in things in this way. With a band, you definitely do. And it's just pushing me specifically, I would say, to be a better person. And I love that. I love that side of it.
I love that it's doing that for you too.
Yeah. And Adam's already perfect, so he doesn't have to worry about any of that. But
that's right, exactly. I'm just a shining example of how I'm sure. Well, it's all right. We just have like 45-minute arguments about whether the Red Bull on the rider is sugar-free or not. That's really
exactly.
I made sure it wasn't sugar-free, though. I'm just going to tell you, this last one, I didn't put sugar-free on there, man. Sorry.
Yes.
Give us the sugar. All we get left.
Now
I'm back in the band.
You talk about working together as a band, and does being together and working together like that help in the songwriting process as well? I know on the new single, obviously, but does that help that process for you guys as well?
I mean, what's been fun about the writing process is that we all kind of brought different. We bring different assets to the table. We all kind of have a different style of writing, but it all comes together really nicely. I mean, we have our arguments. I'm probably the most opinionated at the end of the day when it comes to that stuff. I hate to even use, well, I won't use that word, but I'll say that I'm a second verse snob a lot of the time. So they know if they're bringing a song to me, I'm like, I'm probably not going to like the second verse, but no, seriously, that it's been fun to branch us all out of our normalcy that we are used to and getting into being open-minded.
Yeah. I think when we first started getting together and started writing songs and especially like me personally, when I was writing, if I'm coming up with some stuff by myself to bring to the group, at first I was worried because I was like, oh, well, Casey will like this, but Craig won't like this. Or, Craig will like this, but I don't really like this. It's like, you think that's what it's going to be, but really it's not. It's one of those, as long as everybody's got the same mindset, which I think we do, which is everybody really, wants to nurture what other people bring to the group besides them, the eclectic nature of the songs that we have, but we're really trying to nurture that vibe. And so when that's, this is, for me, like writing wise, this is one of my favorite groups to write with, because there's like, there's just so many different directions you can go. And it's really the only directions you can't go are the directions I wouldn't want to go, which is like,
exactly,
standard, like format stuff. So it's just, it's like, all the good things, none of the bad.
And
wow, say that again, Adam. I didn't cut out real quick. I
want to record this one.
There was some static right during that
moment.
I mean,
Craig is going to still play guitar sometimes, so I mean, maybe not all of it,
Hey, a vacation. You're on point today, man. Come on.
Or pretend to play guitar. If you read some of the comments on our latest Facebook threads.
I know. I replied to them too. I was like, no, it's called Dadgad. It's DADGAD. That's what I'm playing.
He's pretending to play guitar. I'm like, I spent a long time working on that, boys. Trust me. It took me a while to get that track to sound good. He's not pretending.
Well, let's move on to the new single, Four Roses. And Casey, I guess you're on a roll. We'll let you kind of kick off telling us a little bit about the single.
You know what? I'm going to actually pass this off. I don't ever do this, but this was more of a Craig thing. I'm going to let him share the story of the song with you.
Yeah, it was an idea that Adam had come in with. He had the chorus completely written on this one, and I was blown away right off the bat. I was like, dude, there is something really, really cool to this idea. When he got to the twist of a fifth of Four Roses and a Broken Heart, I was like, oh my goodness, this is brilliancy right here. So, and I heard it.
You're welcome.
Yes, I did say brilliancy. But I wanted to kind of take the idea that he had there and kind of take it a little bit. I was hearing 90s country right off the bat. And of course, he was not hearing that, but we brought in a good friend of ours, phenomenal singer from Kentucky area, to come in and help us out with it. And man, it once we got in the writer's room, the verses just kind of spilt out on the paper.
Yeah, it was this guy, Shannon Lawson, and he's in a band called El Camino. If you ever check them out, they're awesome. But what was cool about the song is that it was inspired by this tune. I heard Mac McAnally sing it. I was doing some shows with him, and I heard him sing it every night. And I was like, and it just like kind of weaseled its way. The groove kind of weaseled its way into my brain. And so I was backstage writing this chorus, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, it kind of sounds like this Mac McAnally song. So I asked him about it, and he's like, nah, man, this is way different enough. I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna put my name on it. And I was like, all right, win number one, sweet. And then and then when we started working on it, it was funny. I was like, well, if we go in a different direction with it, no one will ever think. And then I get there with Craig and Shannon, and I'm like, all right, got this chorus. And they're like, oh, yeah, this is like 90s country. I'm like, yeah, like the song that I stole it from. Great. So, but it worked out really good. And I like it's one of those, it's hard. This was kind of early on. And I think one of the hardest things for me to, and I'm sure for the other guys too, is kind of wrap my mind around is when we're writing these songs is really keeping that mentality of harmony singing, because I think there's a lot of groups out there that, like vocal groups that sing, but I think a lot of it, and even, most of them, even the Eagles to an extent, it's not as much about the harmony singing really as it is, like the chorus is always have harmony, but for us, we're like, the more time we can spend singing together, the better. So we even try and write our verses so we can all sing together. So that's one of those songs where, there's a couple of lines here and there. Craig sings by himself, but besides that, everybody's singing together. And those are I think personally my favorite to do.
Yep.
How much do you guys still geek out on the opportunity to just work on those vocals and just do the a cappella stuff? I mean, how cool is that to work alongside each other? I know you're not the type to really build each other up like that, but give you another shot, right?
I will say, I'll jump in on this one. It's like pretty much every time we're together. I mean, we shoot videos and stuff. Every once in a while, if we remember to do it, we'll shoot a video. But man, even driving on the road, because we've been, doing it old school in a 15-passenger van versus all of us being in our own separate buses or something. But it's been really fun to one of us to pull out a guitar and we sit there and just sing nonstop. And it's really, really fun.
Yeah,
I guess I'm the only one having fun.
And I think when like you originally put a group like this together with like three guys singing harmony, you're like, we're going to tour the country and we're going to work on songs together while we're driving down the road. It's like, that's what everybody has in their mind, and then like everybody gets into the van and you get ready to head down the road and it's like, man, I got this episode of Netflix I'm trying to watch, man. I ain't trying to sing or anything. But once you get the cup of coffee and you go, all right, remember when you thought about this? This is what you were going to do. You were going to sing in the, in between gigs, you're going to put songs together in the van. And so we've been like making sure we do that. And it's been great. It's fun. What's nice is if we got 4 hours between one show to another, we got 4 hours to work on one chorus. Let me tell you, we'll have the right parts down by the time we get there.
Exactly.
There's nothing but time on the road when we're driving around. It's nice to have something we can dedicate it to, or where we can be working instead of everybody's just sitting around watching their, the third season of Breaking Bad.
Yep. We have no excuses. That's for sure.
Now, what has been the biggest challenge this last year? Is it been location because of lockdown, quarantine, and all that?
Well, Adam normally likes to make out with every single fan, so we've had to curb some of that. And then, but I mean, it comes at a
with the mask now. It's not a big deal
because now he's married, so no more of that.
No, it's been so far as for us, man. It's actually been a nice departure because we've all been road dogs for so long, and us announcing ourselves during COVID, and really just being able to us three get together and really hone in on the sound and the structure that we wanted to put together without outside influences, and letting it be organic has actually been really nice. Now we've got albums worth of music ready to go, and now it's just being patient and letting the songs come out as somebody else does tell us how we're supposed to put them out. But so far as the influence on the songs, that's been nice to be able to just us three getting in a room and working on those and writing stuff.
Yeah. I think really the challenge is that we just don't have. We've been playing a lot. We've been doing shows, social distance shows and stuff like that. But for us, I think the biggest challenge is that we just want to be playing with the full band more. It's really we did a little run of shows here in Nashville just to play. I mean, we found a great little spot to set up and just kind of invite our friends to come out and play. And we just kind of were playing weekly just so we could jam with the full band, because we do so many of these acoustic gigs just because that's kind of, that's kind of what we're working with right now as far as working out on the road. So yeah, our biggest challenge is we're ready to jam, man. We're ready to turn it up. So, I'm
turn it up some.
Happen soon.
What's the excitement level as you guys get set to get on the run of being on the road, being in that 15 passenger van like you were talking about? How excited are you to actually be able to get out there in front of live fans again?
Case?
I'm pumped. I'm ready. It's been a very weird, there's been good and bad, like what we were just talking about, the last little season that we've all went through together. The good being that we've had time to, like Craig was saying, and really hone in on what it is that we're doing. The negative is that, I've spent my whole life playing music on almost a nightly basis, and to not do it is just really odd. It's just really weird. So I'm extremely pumped and excited as things begin to, regain some sense of normalcy, that we can go out and play shows and do what it is that we've spent our life, dedicating our lives to doing, and actually sharing it with people that have never seen it before. I mean, all of us have really, we've been doing what we do for our whole lives, and this
pretty much single digits, right?
yeah, exactly. And so this is something that's brand new for all of us, and so we're sharing it with people for the first time. So to say that I'm excited doesn't really even touch it. And so many people that have followed my career since the very beginning are just so excited because they love this music, they love what it's doing, and the guys that I'm doing it with, and so for me, I'm just, like I said, excited doesn't even come close to really describing what I feel. So I'm just ready.
Yo.
Well, guys, if folks want to check out tour dates, as those are coming open for you, the new single, all of your other works as well, what's the best place? Is it social media, website?
Man, the best place to do that is go to texashillofficial.com, and from there you can find the links to all of our social media sites, and we're on there quite often, posting things and replying and all that good stuff. And that's it. Like all the guys have been saying, we've all been saying it. We're just excited to finally get some cool music out that we are enjoying, and I hope that everybody else enjoys it as much as we do.
That's cool. Well, guys, I'm going to let each of you have one final word before we go. Craig, you're the one that's directing it. I'll let you pick who goes first.
Adam, go for it, brother.
One word. Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliancy.
Strategery.
No. Grace.
Yes.
Oh, I know it was coming.
Mine, you son of a. Oh.
Now you have to tell them why you have to say that. Come on.
So I just recently got married here. I'll give you the short version. Just recently got married. Craig showed up to the wedding. Was very excited to be there. I'm going to use the word excited to be there. And I don't know. I believe he just didn't really pace himself how he should have. Maybe I think he thought the reception was a little earlier than it happened to him. But
I did.
By the time we got to the speech giving part of the evening, Craig was good and ready for his speech. And it was beautiful. We're gonna be quoting that speech until we're in
Eventually there'll be a video where we completely relive it, but
yeah.
That's to be seen
at a
later time.
Good one. It's kind of one of those had to be there moments, but
hey, but you remember it. That's the good part.
Hey, oh God, I think I remember it word for word. I mean, I'm pretty close. I think I've put the whole thing back together. That's my bit. That's awesome. My bit, making fun of Craig. That's it.
Something brand new that you've never done before.
This is my new bit I've been working on.
Yeah.
Case, go for it, brother.
What am I doing? Am I summing up my life in one word? Is that what
Just a final word, period. What you'd like to say to people?
Oh, no, I'm excited. I'm excited about this band. I'm excited for people to hear it. I hope that anybody that's listening right now gets a chance to come see us, that they do, because this is something I've never been a part of. This is just, it's crazy. Everyone that sees it, my family, my friends, when they just all leave kind of open mouth, like, man, that was insane, and it's not because of what any one of us are doing. It's because of what all three of us are doing together. And that's something that is new to me, refreshing, fun, amazing. I'm proud of it. I love it. And I love the guys that I'm doing it with. And so, if anybody gets the opportunity, they should come and hang out with us, because it's a wacky, wild, fun time and lots of great music.
That's right. And I make fun of Craig on stage too. So don't worry.
You make fun of everybody on stage. What's wrong with
this is a normal thing right here.
Craig?
Man, I tell you, if anything, I'm going to reiterate what Casey said, and that's as things are opening up now, I hope people take the chance and take the time to come out and see the show live, because we have a blast, and I believe it shows. And I really feel like I've found my long lost brothers in this group coming together, and I look forward to making music with these guys for many, many years to come.
That's awesome. Well, Craig, Casey, and Adam, I had to turn it around this time, Adam, so make them feel a little bit better. Great to see you guys. To see Craig and Adam and Casey, the thought of seeing you as well. So luckily, I still have the poster on the wall, so that's good.
There we go.
There we are. A young Bucky Covington right now.
I will reach through the Zoom interview phone call and punch you right in the nose.
And I've already got a mad text.
Well, guys, thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you guys live in person real soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Yep. Thanks, Cameron.
Thanks again for joining us for this episode of Good Questions with Cameron Dole. If you ever have a comment, question, anything else you'd like to know, you can hit me up on the contact page at gqwithcam.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at gqwithcam. If you'd like to help out in the funding for this podcast, visit our merch store. We've got hoodies, shirts, tumblers, mugs, stickers, and more. It's gqwithcam.com/shop. If you have a special guest idea, email me, gqwithcam@gmail.com. Again, thanks to our good friend Brandon Allen for coming up with our theme music. We're going to let him play us out and hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday.